A new era of Toronto FC designated player history has begun. Toronto FC has acquired 26-year-old American designated player Djordje Mihailovic from the Colorado Rapids. Toronto sending an $8 million cash trade plus add-ons plus a future sell-on fee to Colorado, taking advantage of the new rule in MLS this year that allows teams to have up to 2 straight cash trades within MLS per season, basically just a normal transfer fee, and getting a no-win threat in Major League Soccer. Mihailovic is a attacking midfielder slash winger. He's a classic number 10. 9 goals so far this season in 24 games for the Rapids. 11 goals last season in 29 games for the Rapids. A bunch of assists on top of that in both seasons. A guy who can score, a guy who can set people up. This is your key figure piece in your squad in Major League Soccer. Before Colorado, he spent all of 2023 with AZ in the Dutch Eredivisie. He didn't really crack it there, making 36 appearances in all competitions and scoring only 2 goals before being sold back to MLS of Colorado. He had joined AZ from CF Montreal, and prior to that was with the Chicago Fire. Now, a new type of designated player signing for Toronto FC. We have a boatload of experience with both relatively unknown internationals and big-name European players, but this is pretty much the first time that Toronto FC is going after a known in their prime MLS talent to bring in as a designated player. And Mihailovic, there's no questions around him. We know exactly what we're getting. We've seen him prove himself with multiple teams across multiple seasons in Major League Soccer. There is no question as to what we are getting. A guy who is going to score 10 to 15 goals a season and add around another 10 assists per. Now, that's not destroyer of worlds A-S tier designated player level in Major League Soccer, but that is very solid known entity, and at 26 he still is just at the beginning of his prime. He is going to be a fixture in Toronto FC for the next few seasons to come, which is good because unlike with these older European designated players, it's not immediate win now or else they're going to start falling off mode. And the other thing with Mihailovic too is that really in his entire time in MLS, we've never actually seen him on a truly dominant contending team. This guy's never really been on a team in MLS where he's been surrounded by elite top tier talent. I mean, 2022 CF Montreal was pretty good, and that season got him transferred to Europe. And yes, Toronto FC is not that right now, but Toronto FC has had the pedigree to bring in players like that in the past. So we might have the ability to give Mihailovic one of the better strikers he's ever had if we ever eventually use that other designated player spot to bring in a striker like we've been talking about how he should do for years. So on his own, Mihailovic isn't going to turn Toronto FC immediately into a contender, but he is a very solid piece and a guy that you know what you're getting, and much more solid and right now much more consistent of a piece than Bernardeschi or Insigne ever were. Now, him alone isn't instantly going to turn Toronto FC into a contender, but I like the idea that Toronto FC is building a team, not a team that's expected to be buoyed by 1 or 2 elite designated player signings, more so a designated player now that really is going to make the team overall better, and a designated player that will fit in better with an MLS team, given that pretty much for most of his career he's an MLS guy. There won't be as much of a personality mismatch with this designated player as there was in the past. So overall, I'd say B-tier designated player signing for Toronto FC. Again, not your destroyer of worlds designated player, but a known entity that you know what you're going to get. I'd be shocked if he fell off and didn't contribute at Toronto FC. I think in his first game he already was a positive figure. So very good designated player signing. And if this is the type of player that we're going to build the team around, an all-around solid 26-year-old with a bit of a future ahead of him and a known star player in this league, I see no problems with that. Now, quickly I want to talk about another move that Toronto FC made. Tyrese Spicer, the former first overall pick in the 2024 MLS Super Draft, was sent to Orlando City for $550,000 in general allocation money. Now, quite a bit of the Play the Kids gang was upset with this transfer, and I mean, I get why. Like, Spicer was supposedly an up-and-comer who was not really given the best shot at Toronto FC, but he played a position that we had a lot of guys in. We have a lot of wide players, and he didn't stand out really above any of them. And here's the thing about MLS Super Draft picks, is people think that MLS Super Draft picks are young up-and-coming players. Tyrese Spicer was 24 years old right now when we got rid of him. He's at a stage where kind of what you see is what you're getting. There might be a little bit more growth, but not a ton going on there. The thing with MLS Super Draft picks is, like, they've already played 4 years of college. Like, they are 22, 23 years old when they're getting drafted into Major League Soccer. So It's not like these are young 18, 19-year-old kids who have a lot of runway to grow and learn and develop. It's very much like 1 or 2 years to settle into being a professional, and if after that time ends, you're not a contributing professional, it's not going to happen. And like, yeah, Tyrese Spicer, fine player, but it's not like he was a key contributor to this team, and it's not like, I think going forward and building what we want to build, he would have become a key starting 11 player on a contending team in Major League Soccer. So honestly, to get the $550,000 in allocation money for him, I'm perfectly happy with that. I think that's a pretty good return for Tyrese Spicer right there. And as much as I would have liked him to succeed here, I think we're going to be perfectly fine without him. So that is it for this video. As always, if you like to hit like, if you want to see more of my stuff, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Link is down below in the description, and I will see you next time.